And welcome to the episode of DIOTALK. I'm Let's Talk. My guests of the evening are two amazing stars from the brand new movie called Bonds of Grief, produced by Junito Studios. Ladies and gentlemen, give a warm welcome to Jaime Snyder and Tara Beavers. Welcome to the show. How are you gals?
Great. How about you?
I'm good. I'm good. Happy to be here. Happy to have you guys here on the show. Talk about this amazing film.
Happy to
It
be
is
here.
amazing. Yeah.
All right. Have you guys finally watched it already?
Yes. We just had the premiere the other weekend.
Yeah.
So it's really good.
Yeah, it is very good.
Yeah.
Any first thoughts after finish watching it?
It's sad. It's very touching. It's
Yeah.
heartbreaking. It really gets to you. Everybody did a beautiful job with it.
Yeah, I just sat there in awe of how incredible it was when the credits rolled, and just so proud to be a part of something so meaningful and so well done.
Yeah, I agree. You guys open up like the best I know Tara opens it up and then you're the comedy relief which is like I want to say one of the best parts of the film is was towards the ending when everyone is in that room and discussing their perspective on grief and what they've gone through. I think that's a amazing but empowering scenes.
Yeah, I agree. Everybody had their own, their character had their own story about what their grief is and, what they're going through, and just shared it together in that support group. And it really showed how everyone can bond together to get through tough times. It was a great scene, and really well done.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Tara, how did you prepare for, because you're like the opener of that scene. How was that experience for you, just starting it off?
It was like a 3-minute monologue.
Yeah.
So no, I just did what I always do. You do your script analysis on it, you figure out the character and what you're trying to get from the scene, and you put the emotion into it, and your objective, and everything you do when you're acting. And basically I just wanted to tell this story. I wanted to tell it to this support group. I needed them to hear me, to understand me, and I just told it. So yeah, pretty much it.
Was it easy for you to remember that monologue, or did it take you some time to really dive into it?
No, actually, I'm pretty good at that kind of thing. Pretty good at memorizing. Everybody always says that. I'm always word for word. So no, that part wasn't difficult for me.
Awesome. What about you, Jaime? You had you had to like cut the tension with your story. How was that for you?
So my story definitely was not as sad as Tara's, although everybody's story was sad in their own right. And so, it was nice to be able to end it on like a little comedic, way. But I basically have very similar process to Tara, script analysis and the backstory of the character and all that. And, I really feel like in terms of memorizing, once you know the character well enough, the words kind of just come naturally to you. I also don't have an issue with memorization either. It comes pretty naturally. So all of that kind of came together pretty easily. And when it's well written too, I mean, you're kind of handed like a gold platter, really.
Yeah, I agree. What was what was the initial thoughts when you first read the script? Like for each of you, like, because this is like it's such compelling story, like how was that? Were you given your script, or did you get to read the entire story before you started recording?
I'm trying to remember, actually.
I know I'm trying.
I can't remember if he just gave me our group scene first.
Yeah.
And then later we got the script. I just can't remember. But
I do kind of remember seeing the whole script, but I don't really know. I mean, I read the whole script, but I know I focused mostly on our group scene. Obviously you have to read the whole script to get the whole, gist of everything that's happening. But I just remember getting it and saying, wow, this is going to be something great and something big, because it was just so well done.
Yeah.
I agree. For you, Jaime, is it the first time you do a role like this?
I think it's the first time I've done a role that's that sad and that has, a character who is going through something so profound.
Mm.
So yeah, but I mean, I loved every second of it, just like I do with every role I have.
What about you, Tara? Because I know, Tara, you've done a lot different types of roles. So like,
Not the first time, no. I just actually like simultaneously was filming another role. Same situation, like the exact same situation. So I played a mother who went through a loss. So and that has not come out yet, that movie. It should be out probably in the fall. It's called Run Downtown. So yeah. So yeah, definitely not the first time.
Have you guys, like, I know you mentioned you're doing something now that's soon to be released. Are you guys, after doing this for, are you interested in doing some comedy just to shake that off? Because it's a deep film, you know?
Mhm.
So I would love to do comedy. All the films that I have coming up are either horror or drama. Just, you know, like I said, I did have like the comedic relief line, but comedy is not as strong for me as other genres are. So I would love it, and I love comedy, but I don't have any of that in the pipeline right now.
Well, hopefully soon.
Yes, hopefully.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, same goes for me. I mean, I wish I could do comedy, but it's always horror or drama. So I'm actually working on a drama right now called The Security Guard, filming that up in New York. So that's another intense
Mm,
movie. So
you
yeah,
guys need a break.
yeah.
I never like to take breaks.
I feel that. Is it once you finally watch the film, right? Is there any particular scene that sticks out to you, calls your attention, that you were surprised to see?
I was surprised to see the scene with Eileen.
Mm,
The makeup artist did a fantastic job on Eileen, and
yes.
the makeup artist actually just won an award at the
Nice.
New Jersey Film Awards, best special effects makeup for what they did for Eileen in that scene. So yeah, it was very it was shocking, it was touching and heartbreaking, and I don't want to give it away, so I don't know what I'm allowed to like say and not
Well, the
say.
movie's already out, right?
I know.
We can watch it. I think it's on YouTube, Junito Studios, as of now.
I think they're trying to get it on streaming.
Mm,
I don't
I
know if it's
know.
on YouTube yet.
Yeah, I don't
no?
think it's on. I mean, I don't know. I can't answer that, but I know that they are submitting it to Amazon Prime and Tubi and
Okay.
other streaming services. So I think we're still waiting to hear yet on if it's going to be picked up. I think it will be. But yeah, I don't know if it's out yet for
Okay.
everybody.
Okay. That's
But
fair enough.
soon.
Yeah,
Yeah, I,
definitely.
I I watched it the first time. He sent me a link on YouTube, but it was a private link, so I'm just assuming that it was released there. But
Mhm.
hopefully everyone can watch it. I think it's a very impactful movie. I can't, stress that enough. I was speaking to Zuli, to Lisa, and they have with their role, and Eileen as well. They have certain connections with their role,
Mhm.
and where they're a loss of a friend or family member, they really briefly connected and understood what they were doing. Was there in your guys in your roles, was there anything that helped, like, remind you of a loss that helped you, I guess, move on or reconcile what you felt before?
I mean, I'm pretty lucky in that I have not had that much loss in my life. Just a couple years ago, lost both of my grandparents. So that's probably the closest thing that I've experienced to it. But yeah, not I know that like Lisa's had a very, similar experience and things like
Mhm.
that. So I haven't really.
Okay.
Yes, I mean, same here. Just my grandparents, I lost an uncle and, my family pets, but nothing as traumatic as what was discussed in the scene.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially your scene. Your scene was so wow, you were so great with it too. So
Oh, stop.
She was,
Thank you.
right?
she was just
She went deep, and and that opening scene, it's a reminder. Like when I think about the movie, I think about that scene in particular because like I guess that's my one of my favorite parts. How it opens. It opens up with you, but then everybody gets to tell their story. So it's not just the story with Eileen and Zuli. It's a contribution. It's just a start for of understanding that everybody goes through it, and everyone has a different way of coping and understanding. So, like I said, I can't stress enough. It's a really good movie.
Yeah, it's great. So grateful to have been a part of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, what do you have in store for you, Jamie? What's next for you?
So I was really lucky a couple years ago to get involved with a local indie film group called Moving Forward Films, and they have created basically what's going to be a trilogy pretty soon of a story about a family who has a pretty interesting story. Basically, they live in a world where it's a sin to be straight, and everybody is gay, and their son comes out as straight at one night at dinner. And so it's been this evolving story, and this coming weekend we're filming the last and final piece of it. And so that's going to be so sad because this character has been with me for so long, and it's kind of like the end of her story, but she has a beautiful character arc and I love how she ends. And I have like a horror feature coming up this summer, and some other films coming up in the fall. But yeah, just constantly going and never gonna give up.
No, I feel that, and you shouldn't. You shouldn't. How long?
Yeah.
How long have you been doing this acting thing? Like,
I've been at it consistently for about 4 years.
God, okay. I know, Tara. You're always busy. I don't even know what to act you at this point. Like every time I see you, you're either winning an award or you're on a brand new project. Like you're a busy beaver. Like how's it been for you?
It's been busy.
Busy
No,
is
but it's been
good.
good. Yeah, it's good. It's good to be busy. I'm working on one right now. It's called The Security Guard. Wilfred LaSalle of LaSalle Productions. He's from New York, so that's where we're filming. That one is going to be really intense, really controversial. It deals with, I don't want to give it away, but it deals with political topics that are current for today. One of them is guns, guns in schools. So it's definitely going to be it's going to be a conversation piece. I think it's going to get people thinking, talking. And I play a teacher in that. And I already started filming my scenes. This past weekend, I was up there, and we're going to be filming on and off throughout the summer. So, and it'll probably come out next summer because it's going to take him this year to get it filmed and then edited, and then hoping for a release like next spring, summer. So I'm doing that. And I also have a movie coming out called Oculus, which is also by Wilfred LaSalle, LaSalle Productions. We filmed that all last year. And we had our premiere up in New York this past spring. And we just heard that it's been licensed for Amazon and Tubi and a few other things. So that should be coming out soon, hopefully, for everybody to watch. And that was a lot of fun filming. That was a science fiction film, and definitely a different character for me. Well, I don't want to say different because I do play a villain sometimes. I'm either the villain or the victim, and I was both in this one. I was a victim and a villain. So yeah, she's a woman that went through a lot of hardships, and when she enters this world of the Oculus, she gets revenge on the people who have hurt her. So I think everybody's gonna like to see that when that is released soon.
That's awesome.
But yeah, that's what's going on.
So basically, you guys like bonds of grief kicked everything off. So you guys are really busy for the next couple of months, which is
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, it's
And
great. I
Jamie
love
is
it.
always busy. You are always busy too. So don't even.
No, you are too, Tara. You
So,
definitely are. You just
it's a
have
lot.
longer term stuff than I do. I have
Yeah.
like little intermittent things.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and you'll get there. Don't count yourself out. We're all building to make it last, you know?
Yeah,
definitely.
definitely.
Mm.
So the series that you're in, Jamie, um, is it already out? Has it been where can we find them?
Yeah, so the first two are out. The first one's called The Revelations of Gavin Gray.
Okay.
It's on Prime Video and on YouTube. And the second one is called The Redemption of Ricky Gray, and that is also on Prime Video and YouTube. And this last one is called The Reclamation of Alice and Olivia Gray. I'm Olivia Gray, and that will also be on Prime and on YouTube also. So if you want to check out the first two, you can go to Prime Video and find them.
Nice.
Yeah, and Tara and I were actually we're in a film together that's on Prime. Isn't The Gifted on Prime Video?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. We were in two different.
Well.
Oh, is it on Tubi also?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a really cool film too. So we had two totally different parts, but
Yeah, yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's with Strange Films Studios. They're really cool to work with, and really, really fun, interesting film. So that's on. People can check that out on and see both of us in the same film.
Yeah,
yeah. Just like when they
That's
watch Bonds
awesome.
of Greed too. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Is it like, do you guys have like if it was up to you, a preferable streaming service that you guys would like to be consistent on? Because now you got like, Netflix, you got Prime, you got YouTube, you got Tubi that's like changing the landscape of independent films. Is there anyone you prefer, or as long as they can watch it, that's all that matters?
Yeah, to me, I don't have a preference. I just, as someone who's dreamt of being an actress her whole life, just to say, oh my gosh, I even have stuff on streaming, like, is just so profound. So I don't necessarily have a preference. Just I'll take it wherever it lands.
Yeah.
I get that.
Yeah, I mean, obviously my goal is to be on network TV one day. So, I mean, that's what I want. But yeah, for the independent world, basically, yeah, whatever it can get on, it's great, just so it's out there for everybody to see.
I feel
So.
that. One day. I'm building my own. I'm in my third year in, so I'll get there.
Yep, we will all get there.
Yeah.
What inspired you to start acting, Jamie? Like what was that moment where like you told yourself, I want to do this. I want to try this. I want to commit to this.
So it's kind of embarrassing. I've always wanted to act since I was a little girl. And I even when I was, I think, in elementary school, I pretended like I wanted to act so bad. I never
You started to act up?
No. I actually pretended that my everyday life was a TV show. And in the morning, like before I went to school, I pretended like it was an introduction with my family as like the characters on a TV show. And like my whole day was like this episode. And I mean, so it's always been something that I've always wanted to do. So I think it's just something that like I was born with. There was no one particular event that inspired it, but as far back as I can remember, I've always wanted to act and be on the screen and be in front of the camera.
I know I've asked you in the past, Tara, but what inspired you? Because you're like I love that you're, oh man, every time I look at you, you're doing something. Like you're living it. You're the definition of somebody who's if you're a weightlifter, you weight lift. If you're a chef, you cook. You're an actress. You're doing this. What was that moment like for you?
Well, I mean, it started back when I was in middle school. I was in a school play of A Midsummer Night's Dream, and I played Hermia. And I've always been a very quiet, shy, introverted person. So everybody was shocked to see me go in this school play and perform. And it just surprised everybody that I could do that. And I got enjoyment out of it. And after that, my parents started taking me up to New York, and I started auditioning for things. And then we took a break for a little bit when 9/11 happened. And then I just finally got back into it. I mean, I really did put it on hold for a while. And then I got back into it about 4 or 5 years ago. They were filming The Mayor of Easttown in my my neighborhood. And I tried out actually for a background for that show. And so I got on it. I got on other shows. And then I said, I really like doing this. I need to get back into this. So I started taking acting classes, and I've been in acting class for the past 4 years now.
Oh, nice.
And just been training and then submitting myself, for student films, short films, independent films, and basically, everything you can submit for, and, getting speaking roles. And then it just went from there. So, yeah, I mean, it's something I've always wanted to do since I was young. And finally now I'm able to do that. So
Got it.
that's pretty much it.
That's awesome. Kudos to you. As female actresses, is there anything difficult to do, like as an actress, for you that you find challenging at times? Like whether it's playing a role, reading the script.
I haven't come across anything yet, but I've also been very lucky up to this point. So, yeah, I don't know.
Got it.
I would say some stunts, like stunt work, especially on Zay's films,
Oh
because
man.
Zay tries to kill me on his
Oh
show.
no.
We filmed what was it? Saturday the 14th part 2, and with Zay, and I think there was a choking scene where I'm getting like choked out,
Oh
and I
man.
actually got choked out, and I thought I was gonna die. And I was like coughing so bad. Yeah. So stunt work is difficult. You have to really know, what you're doing so you're safe and all. But no, we had a good laugh about it. I mean, it was, and then I did another stunt where I had to drown in another show, and I accidentally swallowed a lot of water. So when they
Wow.
pulled me up out of the pool, I was actually like choking for real on the water. So yeah, you have to really be careful when you're doing stunts. So that's something that kind of makes me a little nervous. But I mean, I'd still go ahead and do it if they asked, but I'm still a little nervous about it.
Well, let's thank God that you're here and you're okay. And let's just try to
And
keep
I
away from
love
those
Zay, so
stunts.
he knows I'm joking. Zay knows I'm joking. I do love him.
Zay's great.
Yeah,
He is, man. He has something. I keep saying he has something with his drama. There's something with his drama that he has an eye for it. I'm not sure why or how, but if I look at the films he has done in the past, even with the mobile films he's done, like drama really, like he has an eye for it.
Yeah.
The cinematography, the feel, what he wants in that picture, like he's really good at it. I can't not express how good he is.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Yeah, he's very creative. He
Mhm.
has so many ideas. And he's always like writing me. He's always like, I have this idea, I have this idea. And he's always wanting to make all these films. And he's like, we're in the middle of filming one film, and he's already got an idea for the sequel of that film. And I mean, that's just how he is. So yeah, he's very creative, and I mean, he's a great guy. So I can't wait to see what he comes up with next.
Me
Yeah.
too. Hopefully it's a comedy. Hopefully it's a
Yeah.
comedy. I haven't seen a comedy from him in a while. So
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to what he produces next.
Mhm.
Yeah, me too.
Um, is there any role that you dream of playing? Like something that you really want to do?
Well, I would love to be on Hallmark.
Oh,
Hallmark or Lifetime.
that's
Yeah,
so yeah.
I
I
mean,
think
that's my goal.
I think for me, yeah, it's working with some sort of, big name A-lister, on, getting a co-star, guest star, it's like the next big thing, really.
God.
But like in the independent world, I would just like to not die in a movie because they always kill me in everything. So
I've died 6 or 7 times in movies too, so I could totally feel that.
Oh
yeah,
man, that must
Yeah,
suck.
yeah. I've been the killer too, so
yeah,
that's fun.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's better than dying. So kudos to
yeah.
you.
thank you.
Oh
Yeah, I guess
man.
it's better than dying, but yeah, the killer was pretty psycho.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw that one you just did. What was it?
Justine Rudd?
Yes. Yeah, that
Yeah,
one.
so we just filmed the sequel to that on Saturday.
Okay.
She's
Cool.
a pretty crazy woman.
Yeah. You got to see
Yeah, wait
that
till you
one.
see what she's up to in the sequel. So that right now is, I think, only on YouTube. It's called Justine Rudd, the Killer. And we just filmed the sequel to it. And then in September, we're filming the third. I guess,
Yeah.
what is that called? Like the trilogy? Like, what is the third called? Like the trilogy? Like
Trilogy,
the
yeah.
Trilogy.
Part
Yeah.
Yeah,
3, trilogy.
part 3, whatever. Yeah. And it's great because it's been like, it was a really different character for me. You know, she's a psychopath and a sociopath. So I had to incorporate like both of those things. And it's definitely one of the most complex roles I've had. And I loved every second of it. But yeah, she's pretty crazy.
She says it so casually. But it is like you guys have been you guys have been in on the set. Is horror like easy to do than generally other films? Because like I know Zay, he started off with horror. He has a lot of horror. I've spoken to other actors as well, and they do horror a lot. So like, is it simple? Like, how is it for you? How is that experience for you girls?
I mean, for
Um,
me, I mean, first of all, horror is like incredibly popular right now. I feel like that's like everybody's doing it, right? Like it's just such a big thing.
I feel like
Um,
that and how do like demonic movies, horror and
yeah,
demonic movies are very popular.
yeah. I don't find it necessarily that hard. I mean, I guess there are some elements to it. Like, something I just did was they wanted like cheesy 80s horror vibe. And I was born in 1980, but like I was always too scared as a kid to watch horror movies. So I had to like go back and research that. So I think there's different aspects of horror that are hard, I guess. But I think that it's just that horror is so popular right now. Like everybody's doing it, right? It's just kind of like
Mhm.
the thing to do.
I think it's also like as a filmmaker, horror is very easy because you can write a quick little thing and people get killed. I mean, it's really easy to put together quickly. And for people who are just starting out
Mhm.
as filmmakers, it's just an easier genre to do.
Mhm.
I've actually heard that professionally they say acting in a horror movie is actually difficult. You have to really be able to bring the correct emotion, like
Mm.
bring fear, and you have to see fear in your eyes, in your body, the way your body tenses. You have to have your heart rate going up.
I'm good.
So if
I'm good.
you,
I'm good.
so I mean that can be difficult for some people, and it might come more naturally for others. So,
Mhm.
but yeah, I mean, it's very popular, I think, especially in the Philadelphia area where we are. Everybody does horror here.
Yeah, it's so
Um,
true.
I mean,
yeah.
Philly's just walking inside the hood of Philly. It's a horror scene. I'm sorry.
That's true.
It's I pray for all of you. It ain't easy.
Well, I'm in the
Mm,
suburbs, so I don't have to worry about the city, but yeah.
yes, I mean,
It's
same here.
different. Hey, is horror different than like shooting like a psychological all right, like horror, like Silence of the Lamb and was it Red Dragon that Hannibal Lecter?
Those are
Like
crazy movies. Yeah.
like it's is it more mental? Like what do you guys think?
I think there's a degree of mental difficulty to both types. You know, I've been in psychological thrillers and I feel like they're every bit as challenging as horrors.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't say there's, I mean, you still have to, you have to do the same thing. You have to prepare for your role. You have to bring the right emotion. It's just different. Horror, and it depends on the type of horror because, like a thriller could be horrific in a way,
Hmm.
but you have all different types. You have your slasher horror and you have your paranormal that's horror. And so, yeah, it just really depends on, I guess, the type of what it is. But yeah, you still have to prepare, I think, the same way, same emotion, and
Mhm. Yeah.
so
I wouldn't fathom. I'm not as professional as you guys are. Like I don't have that experience. Like I wouldn't know how to prepare for a horror film. Like my job is to go like crazy or yell. Like it's I don't know.
You
I'm
kind
just
of have to, when you're
I'm a bad
preparing, like, I
actor.
mean, I don't know if this is Tara's process, but for me, you know, I kind of have to put myself in the situation, right? And just kind of pretend that I'm living that moment and that situation, because without that authenticity, like, you're not going to bring the proper emotion to the scene.
Yeah, I mean, definitely you have to believe in the imaginary circumstances. That's what we're taught in Meisner School. And not only that, but you have to go after what you want in the scene as well. You know, what are you fighting for? You know, what are you fighting for in the scene?
Usually it's your life.
Yeah, your life. So you want to live, you want to get out of there.
Oh man. Is it, if you had the opportunity to like redo a horror movie, right? Since we're talking about horror, right? What movie would that be for your individual opinions?
So for me, it's not so much redo, because they're still making these movies, but I'm a huge fan of the Scream franchise.
Okay.
And so I would love to be in one of those, or, you know, go back and recreate one of the earlier versions of it. So yeah, that's probably for me the one I'd want to be in. I'm too much of a scaredy cat to be in something scarier like Poltergeist, or like, yeah, no, I'm too much of a wimp for that. I still check under my bed before I go to sleep at night, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. That's tough. I don't know what I'd want to. I just don't know. I mean, I wouldn't want to like redo anything that I've already done. But yeah, if I could be in a franchise, I would want to be in the Terrifier franchise. That's local to Philadelphia. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. It's called it's called Terrifier, and they just put out Terrifier 2, and they're currently filming Terrifier 3. And since it's local, it would be fun to get involved with that. But who knows? But yeah, also clowns. I'm terrified of clowns.
Oh man.
So if you
that's a
put
hard
me in
pass for
clown
me.
movie, you'll definitely get the emotion correct, you know, with clowns for me. I hate
Wait,
clowns.
so what happened when you saw Eileen's character in the clown costume in The Gifted?
Oh, I was very freaked out. Like, for real. I couldn't stand it. I don't like clowns.
I get that. I do.
I've never seen Stephen King's It. I don't know if you know that movie, the old one.
Yeah.
It's called It by Stephen King. And yeah, I've never seen it because I tried to watch it and I couldn't, because I'm just so terrified of clowns.
All of Stephen King stuff is next level anyway, but still, you know, yeah.
And there was this movie on in the 80s. I was like a really little girl in the early 90s when they were playing it. It was called Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Oh, I've heard of that. My God.
I mean, it's like, it's lame, okay? But when you're like a kid and you see it, you're terrified. And then you have nightmares about clowns. So yeah.
That's
Can't
horrible.
do it.
How do you guys feel about like those like real life films? Like, you know, the last one I saw was like Jeffrey Dahmer. Like, how do you like, you know, like those films that are like real life, and then now they do a film or a series like.
So interestingly enough, I have been in, I guess they're almost kind of like the true crime reenactment shows that are on TV. And I actually am on one that's on Hulu. It's based on a podcast called Betrayal. So it is actually about, they actually they're coming out with season 3 now, but I was in season 1, and it's crazy because it's based on like a true story. It wasn't as insane as Jeffrey Dahmer, but it was definitely a crazy story in its own right. But those are so fun to be a part of. Just, you know, recreating those scenes and kind of getting a horrible feel for what it would have been like to live through that situation.
Yeah.
I mean, I've watched those shows, and it's terrifying because it actually happened. You know, it's not like, you know, you watch a horror movie and you're like, you know, this is fun or whatever, but like nobody's really going around wearing like, you know, Michael Myers masks and all that. But like with this guy really went around and did these kinds of horrific acts to people. And I think psychologically, you know, that's just messed up, and it affects you, I think, differently, you know, when you're watching that. It hits different. So yeah, I mean, it's horrible. But yet we all watch it, you know? I mean, that's what's messed up too. Everybody watches that stuff.
Yeah,
you know, it's very popular.
But you know what it is? I think it's like because it's not like you hear about it on the news, the radio, whatever, who's reporting it, but it's, to actually like somebody near you that did that,
Yeah.
it's so surreal. Like for me, it's more psychological. Like I want to understand this guy. What committed him to you know commit so effed up things?
I
Yeah.
know.
Like like, and what's going through your mind? You're only like what, 17 years old when you started committing these murders. Like, yeah, your mom and dad are getting divorced, but like, is it that drastic?
Mhm.
Right. The fascinating part of it would be doing the research, right? And
Yeah.
actually like taking a deep dive into what was really going on, right? And like what caused that, what trauma growing up, or what mental things the character was dealing with.
Yeah, like what
Yeah.
was missing in his life that he felt he had to do that,
Yeah.
What didn't he get, that he felt that was going to make up for it. So, yeah, I mean, that's just crazy. And you'll never understand. You're
Yeah.
never going to understand somebody like that. I mean,
Yeah, it's
And,
unfathomable.
yeah.
and then you have like his character just like he's like very nonchalant. It's like, yeah, man. Like what? Like he doesn't even and I guess that's the worst part. It doesn't come across like he's a serial killer.
Yeah.
And then I feel bad for like the actor because after that he had to go to like a mental hiatus thing because it was so dark for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's so much mentally to go through that and prepare for that role that you need to like, kind of hibernate for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, it's kind of messed up. It was actually a really good show. I mean, I'm sorry. It was kind of messed up, I'm sorry. But it was.
Yeah. I get it. I get that.
Yeah.
So
So.
so Bonds of Grief, it's out now.
Mhm.
If you had to tell somebody why should they watch this film, what would you tell them?
Well, I would tell them to watch it because everybody's experienced some level of grief in their life, whether they lost a parent, a child, a friend, a grandparent, or even if it's not somebody who died and it's somebody, like a breakup, or like even a loss of a job, any type of event that's going to affect you emotionally, anything that you're gonna, a marriage, a divorce, anything that's going to come as a loss to you. And if you're having a hard time getting through that, I feel that if you watch this movie, you can find that you can relate to it and that you can see that there are others around there that are going through the similar things that you are. And it might help you, get through your grief. And the message, it's like, reach out to somebody if you need help, reach out to a friend or to a support group, because there's always somebody who wants to help you, and you can get through this and you can overcome it. So, I mean, yeah, that's what I think.
That was so beautifully said. Like you can never, you're not alone, right? You're never alone. There's always somebody there for you to lean on. You just have to know where to look and you have to know who to lean on. But really there's just never a reason to go through anything like that alone.
I agree. I agree.
And when you do find those people to reach out to and who support you, something so beautiful can come out of it, right? Like the friendship in Bonds of Grief. You can be in this world where you feel like it's collapsing around you and there's no hope, and then you join a support group or you meet a friend, and the bond that you create opens a whole new door for you, and it changes your world and creates something even more beautiful than you ever imagined.
Yeah. But also like those just to add on those support groups, like they're so important. They have so much value in them, because like in your scene, like everyone had a different story, but you see like sometimes it's not, how do I explain this? It's not that serious, Then when it's like once you hear somebody else's story or what they're going through, like it lifts your personal emotions up, and you come to terms like it's not that bad. Like I'm gonna be okay.
Right.
Well, yeah, and it makes you feel like you're not alone,
Yeah.
because sometimes people just they feel so alone, they don't realize that there's somebody out there that you can lean on, so
it also makes you, look, not to minimize anybody's problems, because everybody's grief means something to them and is terrible, but it also helps you realize that the grass is always greener on the other side, right? Like, you might think that what you're going through is the worst thing in the world, and then you're in this group and oh my goodness, their story's even worse than mine. There is always, there's always somebody who's going through something more profound than you are, but there's also always ways to connect and find the beauty and the positivity and the hope in all of that.
Well said. Well said. As female actresses, right? You guys are doing an amazing job. 4 years, both of you doing this, it's climbing the ladder and achieving going for your dream, essentially. For a young woman who's trying to do the same things you guys are doing, like, any words of advice of encouragement you can give them? Because they're gonna look at you. Yeah, every woman, because we have the stigma in the entertainment industry. Well, you have to look this way, you have to be this way, and I feel like you guys are perfect role models to lift that generation of females that want to do something, that you don't need to, go on, I guess, America Next Top Model. You don't have to look a certain way to be a good actress, which you guys are.
Right. I think if you work hard and you want it, badly enough, and you are dedicated and serious about it, you can achieve whatever you want to achieve. It's just how badly you want it, really.
Yeah. I mean, and if it makes you happy, you
Yes.
know, you have to be happy doing it, because it is tough. It's a hard industry. It's very hard to get into. You're going to get lots of rejection. And a lot of people can't handle rejection, and it depresses them. It gets them down. They want to give up. So if it's something that you really want to do, you can't give up. You have to realize that rejection is going to be natural in this business. And you take it, you just say, okay, on to the next one, forget about that one. You move on, and you just keep going, and you just don't give up. You keep going every day. You keep trying as the best you can do. And eventually, you'll start making headway, train, get all your training in, get all your materials in order, and just keep applying for things. And you just, it's like one step at a time, and then eventually, you start finding it yourself to get better and better and better. And, you don't give up, and eventually you'll be where you want to be, I think.
Boom.
But
Well
it's
said.
a long haul. You're in it for the long haul,
Oh yeah. And not every role is right for every person. Not everybody is right for, what one filmmaker is looking for, you might not be right for, but you might be right for another filmmaker. And, you just, you, like Tara said, you just keep putting yourself out there. You just never give up, and,
yeah.
you'll get
And network with other people, other filmmakers, other actors, actresses, directors, writers, everybody.
And always be professional and kind and nice, because everybody, believe it or not, everybody knows everybody. And you want to make a good impression, you want to have a good reputation, and the only way to do that is to be professional and show up when you're supposed to show up, and keep the commitment that you make.
I mean, and if you can't show up, don't just let people hang, not knowing where you are. You got to say, hey, something came up or whatever. But be professional, and just, you got to just keep working at it. You have to be, like Jamie said, you have to be dedicated. I mean, and you can't just go into this thinking, oh, I'm going to be a Hollywood actor overnight. Now, there's very few. I mean, it does happen, but very few go into it and they're like successful the next day. It can take years, in this business.
It is a long journey, and you have to be in it for the long haul, and you have to love it. And, it has to be a part of who you are. It is for me.
Yeah. It has to make you happy. That's, basically you just have to be happy doing it. And even if you don't make it to Hollywood, as long as you're happy doing it, like with whatever you're doing, a short film, an independent film, whatever you're doing, as long as you're happy doing it, that's all that matters.
I mean, for me, every time I'm on set, it propels me forward. It's so much more, because I love it so much. I'm like, okay, what's next? I want more. It's almost like an addiction, really, like I can't get enough of it.
Yeah.
I agree. I love it. I love it. And if the only thing I'll probably add on is, like, you know, Hollywood is just with people, that's their, I guess that's their mountain, but you could create your own.
Mm,
Like,
yeah.
you know, we live in an era like independent films are constantly getting viewed, are constantly evolving, or getting award, being better than these Hollywood movies as well. So like don't, you know, don't worry about trying to fit in into the stigma of this place. You know, always inspire and create your own and
Yeah.
help others build their own. You know, like there's, you know, the world's it's a circle. It goes round and round and round. You never know.
Yeah.
And there's just so many other things you can do as well. I mean, even if it's not Hollywood per se, I mean, there's theater, you know, there's
Yes.
voiceovers, there's commercials. As I said, like the independent stuff, you can write your own content
Yes.
and film it. So I mean, there's just so much you can do to be creative in this. So I mean, whatever you do, you know, just find something you love and you just do it, you know.
Yeah,
Definitely.
I agree.
Yeah.
Thank you, ladies. Very
You're welcome.
inspiring. I love it. Before we go, please tell the people they can find you at.
So I'm on Instagram as Jaime Snyder Official. My name is Jaime Snyder Official. And my website is jsnyderactress.com. Yeah, so look for me. I hope to be around for a long time to come.
You can find me by Googling Tara Beavers actress. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. I think on Instagram it's tara.beavers.nyc actress. I think that's what I changed it to. But if you just Google Tara Beavers actress, it'll come up. It's all out there.
Boom. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure to go follow them, go support them, go check out this brand new film when it comes out on the streaming platforms, Bonds of Grief. Go support them. Go say hi. Go show them support, share their content. And make sure you go like and subscribe our YouTube channel, DIOTALK TV, to continue supporting these amazing actresses like Jaime and Tara. But also filmmakers like Zay Rodriguez. Make sure you go follow me on Facebook, Dumar King Diaz. We are releasing all the episodes on Facebook now. We're flexible to share and watch. And have a good night, guys. I'm out.